The following program is rated GE. It is suitable for general family viewing.
Hello there and welcome to Beyond the Limit. I am Muthoni Minor. Well, today on this episode, I am joined by a lovely, amazing lady. She's looking dapper as well. Her name is Josephine. Her condition is CP. She will definitely elaborate on those initials in a few on this episode. Welcome to the show, Josephine. So I'd like you to briefly describe briefly introduce yourself and tell us more about your condition.
Okay, thank you for having me on stage. My name is Josephine Wende. I am a lady and a mother of one. And I live with a condition known as cerebral palsy. And they differ. For me, I was born with it, from birth.
So how have you been able to cope with your condition from the very beginning when you got to understand yourself up till now?
Okay, like when I was young, I didn't know that I was different from others until I joined school. That's when people are doing what I cannot do. Like now, when we are kids, you like playing with the soil, building those lands.
Yeah.
So I could not do that. So I just learned that I was different from them, but I didn't hate myself or something of that sort.
So Mwende realized she was different when she joined school, as she could not engage in extracurricular activities with other students. So is it right to say that her parents failed her, in the process of self-realization?
Now, looking at the studies that have been done about mothers with children who are abled differently, you realize that firstly, the mothers themselves go through grief. They are going through frustrations, and most of them actually blame themselves. They are like, I caused this to happen. And these mothers sometimes go through depression. And when they are in this status, they cannot be able to raise healthy children. And probably Josephine is a victim of such, whereby the parents are not able to realize themselves, to have that ability to know that she needed to go to school, to be integrated to the community, to be taken to the church, etc., etc. And probably they isolated her. And this means that parents with the children with disability sometimes lose motivation. They lack the drive because probably they are facing stigma from the neighbors and family members. So they are like isolated. However, I feel that they need to seek support group. They need to seek advice. And there are people who are willing to walk with them through this journey.
How was it, relating with other kids? Did they make it hard for you?
Like when I joined school, I just went to a normal school, that is in my class 1, but it was a bit challenging because, in those little areas, you have to write on the soil, maybe using your fingers, and for me, I could not. So I found it somehow difficult until I went to art special school. Yeah.
And in that school, before you joined the special institution, the learning environment, for the teachers as well, they did not treat you any different, or did they ever make you feel like you were different from other kids?
No, the teachers were nice. I didn't feel any different. Only the activities made me feel different.
Mm-hmm. And did they do anything about it, like maybe introduce a special game for you?
No, the only thing they did, they encouraged my mom to look for me a special school. Yeah.
So, coming from that institution, for you to join now a special one, how is the environment there? Was it, welcoming for you, or was it still challenging?
Oh, the special school was so nice. I found so many people of my type. Others were even worse than me. So I just felt at home. Yeah.
And is there a point in life where you felt like, you just want to hide away from people and not communicate or keep in touch with the society?
Personally, I've never reached that point of hiding myself. I've always loved myself, and the support from my mom is just amazing. Yeah.
And any other support that you get from your family, or are there any other family members that did not want to accept you with your condition?
Not really. All the family members were so friendly. They accepted me. They were all supportive. I didn't feel maybe different, or they just accepted me and everything was okay.
So you said you are a mother of one.
Yeah,
Is it a boy or a girl?
it's a boy.
It's a boy. And how is it? How is your relationship with you and your son?
Well, the relationship is so amazing. My son is just 4 years and he has already known how I do my things. Like, I don't use my hands most of the time. I do my things using my feet, and he's okay with that. You can see him bringing me something, Mom, nikusaidie kutoa hii, ananipea mguu.
So Josephine refused to let her condition decide her fate, and now she is a mother of one, and she has also found love. So what can we say about her willpower?
Yeah, I think studies are clear. They say that women with disability, they also have sexual rights to be intimate, to get married, and to raise a family. And if she's an adult, she's doing the right thing. However, I feel that she's very strong-willed. She is very courageous to be able to come out and say, I'm going to get a baby. On the other hand, I feel that she needs to look around for more support and encouragement from her community, her family, simply because as this child is growing up, they may need to go to school. Is she able to take this child to school? Is she able to attend the parents' meeting? And that is why she needs to work alongside support, a strong support system. Yes.
Is there a point, maybe in life that your child got to ask you, "Ay, mommy, well, why are you, like this?"
No, for now he's still young.
He's still young to understand that. So how is it for you when you're trying to initiate conversations with people outside here? Is it easy, or do they make it hard for you?
It depends with someone's personality. Like, that those who know disability, others don't know. So, the interaction is differs from one person to the other. Yeah.
So when it comes to dealing with the society, Josephine has to understand the personality of a person so that you can gauge the level of communication. It is a good approach, I think, is it?
True, it's a good approach. Actually, that's the approach that we should have for both abled persons and abled differently persons. We always need to weigh the kind of friends that you go along with. So in her case, she needs to walk along with friends that are going to make her feel valued. She should feel loved and she should feel respected. So that choice of seeking to know whom she should work with is quite positive from her end. And I would encourage that she does that the more. However, she should also be careful that in some instances you can have people who don't look good from at the word go, but eventually when you bond with them, they can be very resourceful. So she needs to weigh and not really make judgments even before she gets to interact with people.
So are you in a relationship as of now?
Yeah, as of now I am.
And how is it?
It's going on well.
Has it ever been tough for you at some points?
When dating, You find some people, maybe they think now, when I marry you or when I date you, when you have kids, it will be like you, I don't know what, yeah. So sometimes it's not easy.
When dating, some of Josephine's partners got to ask if she would give birth to children who have the same condition as hers. So does this speak to the deep-seated and far-reaching ignorance that the society has on matters cerebral palsy?
Indeed, it's true. The society has some level of ignorance as far as what is cerebral palsy and what causes it. Cerebral palsy is a condition that affects the body movement and also the coordination of the body. It's not inherited. It's not a genetic disorder. Some of the causes of cerebral palsy are asphyxia, and that is low oxygen levels in the brain during birth. It can also be because of infections like meningitis, and it can also be due to brain injury that has occurred during the time of birth or during the early days of the child. So when we get to know that, then we realize even if Josephine is expectant, it doesn't mean that she'll have a child who has those defects. It can only happen if she is exposed to those predisposing factors that I've mentioned. So the child will not necessarily be cerebral palsy. And so the society need to be enlightened and get to know what causes cerebral palsy and what are the symptoms and what is expected. But for Josephine, I'm happy that she's able to take the strong will and carry pregnancy despite her condition of cerebral palsy. Yes.
So how is the relation, between you and the family to your spouse? How is it?
Currently, no, I'm not married. We are just...
So you haven't met the family yet?
Yeah, we are just dating. We have not taken
What of his friends?
They are okay.
They're okay with it. Did they never got like shocked at
Maybe
time that
maybe
they
they
got to
ask him, but for me, I don't know.
You have no idea.
Yeah.
So is there any support that you receive from the government?
For now, no, I don't receive anything.
And what would you like, the government to do for persons who have this condition?
Okay, for me, what I would like the government to do is especially, there are those who use some medication, and the medication is so expensive. I'd like even if the government can chip in and give some just for free instead of purchasing. Like now you see the government always provides free condoms. Why can't they provide the medication for it? Yeah.
Absolutely. So I'm trying to imagine that you have to use, transport to commute from one place to another. So how do you get to pay, the conductor in that? Because you've said that in most cases you cannot use your hands. So how do you go all about that?
Like, I have to have a specific handbag whereby when I put my fare, I just put on one side where I can easily take. Yeah. If not that, I prefer using a cab.
And no one has ever taken advantage of the fact that you have a specific place to put your money in?
As for now, no.
So in other areas where you cannot do everything for yourself, who comes in, to help you out?
Okay, I have my cousin, my sister, and other relatives. Yeah, like when I wash my clothes, I have to call one of them to hang because I cannot hang them, but I can wash.
So is there a point in life where you felt like you were so low because of maybe somebody uttered some words that you didn't like?
The only time I felt so low was in the year 2017 when I was going to deliver. You know, that time the doctors were on strike, so I happened to go to Pumwani, and after auditing there, they said, "Oops, we don't take such people."
And how did that make you feel? Because I can imagine you were going through labor, there's all that pain and all, you know, all those words that they say to. What did you do afterwards?
As that time I was in pain, so I didn't do anything. We just went to Kenyatta.
So, you know, after that whole process was done, you still remembered those words clearly, because up till now you do remember them. So after you sank, after you were, you know, at your lowest point, what made you, you know, spring back up to you?
You know, sometimes we might blame people, but they are not aware of maybe your condition. They don't know disability. So what I do, I just advocate for what is cerebral palsy, how it is, and other various things concerning cerebral palsy.
When Josephine went into labor, she went to the Pumwani Maternity Hospital, and the medical staff shunned her away since they said they could not deal with a person who has a disability. This is another case of an enlightened pocket in the society that is shunning away persons with disability. So what is your take on this?
According to me, I would first of all congratulate Josephine. That's a big step, that's a big milestone, and I'm happy that she would take a risk and decide to have a child. It's quite amazing. Children are a blessing, and I would tell the medical staff that they should not underestimate persons able differently. At the same time, they should know that these people are not less deserving. They also need families. They need to get married. So the fact that she was able to decide that she wants to give birth, that's a big step, and we encourage such, because if anything, she would need these children in future. She would need that child during her old age, a person who will go along with her even if she really needs help. But however, we would encourage persons able differently. In this case, cerebral palsy, we know that most of them are sustained by their drugs that they take through their lifetime. And so they need to consult with healthcare providers and get to know, are the drugs that they are taking, would they affect the unborn child, so that they get to know whether they need to take that risk. Yeah? Then at the same time, they need to know that children can go along with a price. So it means after giving birth, this child would require help. They would require support. So they need to ask themselves, am I in a position to keep that child after I give birth? Yes, so that's something that we need to consider, even as we encourage persons with cerebral palsy to go ahead with families, which is their right, by the way. It's quite their right that they should also give birth, they should also get married, they should have families, because they need them. These are people who shall remain around them even when other people are not there. So it's quite important. But let the medic know that the persons able differently, they should also, they have the rights to give birth.
So what would you like to, tell other persons who have disability?
The first thing, if you have a disability, is to accept yourself. Self-acceptance is the key. That yourself, accept yourself. There is not everyone who knows about disability. And that's why I've decided to come up with a society. It's called Ambulance Africa, of parents and persons with cerebral palsy. Yeah, I've registered.
You've registered. And how many people are you in that group?
Currently, I just got the certificate the other day. I'm in the process.
And do you feel like it will be a good place that will accommodate everyone?
Sure, it will be a safe place. It will be a safe place for people with cerebral palsy and others with various impairments. Yeah.
And with that, are there any future plans that, maybe as a group you'll be able to implement for persons with this condition?
Yeah, what I want is to create more awareness of cerebral palsy and tell the world that we can be parents, we can date, we can work, we can do any other thing. That's in a different way. Yeah.
So do you feel like you are well represented in the society?
At least I always say other disabilities, they are at least well known. But for cerebral palsy, it needs an extra mile. Yeah. Not everyone is aware of it, so it needs an extra effort. Yeah.
So what would you also like to tell, other parents who do have the CP, or maybe they have kids with CP, but they don't want to come out, they want to hide their condition from the society?
Okay, to the parents who have kids with cerebral palsy, I'd like to tell you, just don't hide the kid. Take him or her outside. Maybe he's the one who is lived through one day. He's hidden good. Yeah. And to the people with cerebral palsy, I just want to tell you that accept yourself, love yourself, and come out to speak up. Yeah.
Indeed, acceptance is key into unlocking the possibilities of you achieving your goals despite your disability. Now that's all that we had for you here on Beyond the Limit. I am Muthoni Minor. Sayonara.